Hey guys, Zombie Slayer here, and today I'm going to be showing some videos, and over the course of the next few days I'm going to be showing videos on the new Lunar Year challenge, which is double elixir, in case you didn't know this already. And this deck you can see on the screen right now is a bit of an expensive one, you can see, but in double elixir that doesn't really matter too much. However, I found this deck to be a deck that works really well together, and that if you can build up a push, is almost unstoppable. Now, each different card has its own purpose. I mean, it's sort of self-explanatory to some of the professionals out there, but I'm going to go through all the cards and say what I use them for. So I'm going to start off with the Mega Knight. Now, despite its nerf on the update that came out, I think it was 2 days ago, it still works really well despite the 25% nerf on jump damage and spawn. Now, it's still good at taking out swarms, it's still very powerful, so I'm still going to use it. Plus, not many people are going to expect it after the nerf, so it's going to surprise people a bit, and hopefully that works against others well. Now, I've got the P.E.K.K.A. in because obviously it destroys tanks really easily and really well. And if it gets a tower, well, it's just going to do a ton of destruction, which is obviously what you want. And then I move on to the E-Wiz. Now, the E-Wiz is obvious and probably one of the most important cards knowing how to use and when to use in this challenge. And that's because it takes care of all the Infernos and also Sparky. Now, with the E-Wiz, that stops a lot of major damage problems, which is why I've definitely got this in this double elixir deck. I've got Inferno Tower for obvious reasons. If I've got tanks, I'm probably going to go against opponents that also have tanks. So it is very good for taking out things like Giants and Giant Skeleton, P.E.K.K.A. and Mega Knight that I've got. So, and Golem as well. So it's a very important card to have in the deck. Now, Wizards is good for taking out things like minions and archers, things with smaller HP, but also as a support unit. So if you got like a tank in front, it can get a ton of damage on the tower behind, or those pesky minions placed on top of your P.E.K.K.A. or Mega Knight, suddenly they've wasted 5 elixir, and you're going to have a really good charge going. Now, I've got Valkyrie in to destroy swarms, like Skeleton Army for example, that are placed against your P.E.K.K.A. perhaps. And then I've got the Lumberjack. Now, I had 2 different versions of this deck. I had Ice Spirit instead of the Lumberjack before. So I had 2 things that reset cards. Now, even though I've taken Ice Spirit out, and now I've only got the E-Wiz to reset Infernos, I've got the Lumberjack in, because not only if you get it to the tower it does insane damage, but also even if it dies just before a tank reaches a tower, then your push is going to be absolutely huge, and having a Lumberjack give your characters rage just before the tower means you can do a ton of damage which you might not have been able to do before without having it in the deck. That's why I've got it in. And finally, Skeleton Army, for obvious reasons, for taking out also like Inferno Tower, massive cards like Giant Skeleton, P.E.K.K.A. and Golem. So, overall, each card has a different purpose and what it's going to be used for. Now, as you can see, my P.E.K.K.A. level isn't very great. I'm on the verge of getting it to tournament standard. So for anyone who has any of these cards at like higher levels, because I've only just got to Arena 11, may like this deck even more than I do, as I've got 6 wins to 1 loss in the stage 2 part of the tournament. So now I've gone through my deck and gone through its uses, I'm going to show you a game. I'll show you the games I have up now, if I can find my first match. Here it is. So I've got a 1-0 victory over this guy. It was quite close. It was a really good game, but as a lot of people are going to play defensively, I had to keep putting cards at the back as you'll see now. I love these double elixir events, because even if you make a little mistake, you can sort of recover from it. I believe in this game, he goes for the giant, the wizard, and the witch. But I think I go for a push on the right hand side, and put the Valkyrie to get rid of the witch and the wizard. Trying to get that a positive elixir trade. Although what's messed me up is now this Inferno right here, this Inferno Dragon, is messing me up. But now I've cycled to E-Wiz. So I've lost the P.E.K.K.A, but I haven't crucially lost the Mega Knight. Unfortunately, it doesn't jump damage the tower, but it's a good thing because it keeps E-Wiz alive. And it stops the Valkyrie from taking out the E-Wiz as quick. And also Lumberjack there as a support whilst the tank's there. It's got some really good damage on the tower. I placed down Skeleton Army here just to stop the Inferno locking onto my Valkyrie. This was probably one of the best parts of the game, was pulling the giant all the way across and destroying it with the Inferno. That was a good elixir trade, plus it stopped them pushing as much. See, at the moment, we're sort of at a stalemate because this guy is being really defensive. And he's trying to defend the lane I'm attacking, but yet the lane he's got damage on, he isn't putting any cards on. So at the moment it's a bit of a stalemate of what's going on at the moment. I think the Inferno Tower might just get the Inferno Dragon. If not there, it probably will on the way to the tower. Yeah, it just picks it off, it's just in the zone. It's a shame with this deck I don't have Rocket, unfortunately. But then the Mega Knight does area damage, so it's not too bad. Luckily that Inferno's there, so I think it takes care of the giant, getting some good elixir value. Now all I need is that 600 for the tower. As you can see on the video, I keep just trying to stack up cards, put at the back. And because we keep fighting the same lane, and he keeps overcommitting his cards to defense, I switch lane as you've seen here. Now Lumberjack just got insane damage. It looks worrying, but this Skeleton Army takes care of the Inferno and the mini P.E.K.K.A. Luckily I've got the Wizard to place down on this, so it gets rid of the Inferno before it does any serious damage, and I can pull the other Valkyrie against me to the side to stop it doing damage. The Inferno being placed also stops the giant. Bit of an error, should have placed it more to the right, but it still destroys the giant, and luckily I get the E-Wiz in. Now he's committed to the push on that side, which is a mistake, because now he's not defending his other tower. I've got Skeleton Army to defend his knight, and this, I think, is game. See, what I had to realise is I kept playing defensive, but if I kept going the same lane, he kept putting all his cards in the same lane. So sometimes with this deck, you have to split up the strategy, because if they keep if they over put cards in one lane, then splitting it up not only means you have less counters, but you're more likely to get one of the towers, as you just saw there. Like, you can't overcommit is the word I was looking for before, to a certain lane, otherwise you'll lose. So I've got a few more videos. I'll probably put a series of 4 or 5 games into another video, But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have got the cards for this deck, and you've got it at the same level as me or higher, and you want to use it, I hope you do, because it's a really good deck. I would use it personally in double and triple elixir events as well. I'm going to try and use it in stage 3 in the tournament, and see how well it works, but I know it definitely worked well in stage 1, in stage 2, despite stage 1. The losses don't really matter, but I hope you enjoy this deck, I hope you have fun with it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.